Right, welcome back to our video. Today we've got my Europa League and Conference League predictions. Starting off with the Europa League bracket. Here we're going to predict who I think is going to go through in each round, and that we'll see at the end of the competition if I'm right or wrong. First up, we've got Juventus versus Sporting. I think Juventus should have the quality to get through in this game. Surely, if not, then they're having a very bad season. I actually know how they're doing in the league. I know they're not winning it, I know that that's Napoli that's winning it. But yeah, I'll say Juventus will get through to the semi-final. Up next we've got Man United versus Sevilla. Man United being all over the place at the moment. Will they be able to bring it back and get a win against Sevilla? No, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll say Man United will win that. Feyenoord versus Roma. I'm going to back Roma. I'm going to say they will pull through and get a win in this game. Even though I don't think they've been the most consistent this season, I think they'll get into the semis for this. The final round of the quarterfinals, we've got Leverkusen versus Union SG. I'm surprised Union SG has actually made it this far, but I'm going to say it'll be Leverkusen to get through this round. Onto the semi-finals, we've got Juventus versus Man United. You know what? I can see Man United making it into the final. I can see them beating Juventus. I don't think Juventus have the team that they used to have. Man United could beat this. And the other semi-final, we've got Roma versus Leverkusen. I want to back Roma, but I have a feeling they won't make it. I have a feeling they'll lose it. So I'm going to go for Leverkusen to make it through. And that leaves Man United and Leverkusen in the final. You know what? I'm going to back Man United to actually win it. Yeah, I'm going to back them to win it. Put in the comments who you want to win the competition and who you think is actually going to win it, because that could be two different answers, but it could be the same. So I'll save that, and now we're going to move on to the predictions. Now we're going to start off by going back to the round of 16 second leg and see how well I've done. Okay, so in the round of 16 I managed to get 34 points in the second leg, which is better than what I did in the previous round. Only one game where I got 0 points, which is actually quite good for me. There's usually 2 or 3. There's 2 games I only got 1 point. There's one game I got 2 points, which is the Sevilla game. Then we move on to the games where I actually started to get a decent amount of points. The first one being Feyenoord versus Shakhtar Donetsk, where I got 4 points for that. I got 5 points for the Freiburg versus Juventus, 7 points for the Ferencváros versus Leverkusen. I got 7 points because I got 1 point for the first team to score and 2 points for the first player to score, which is surprising. I don't think I've gotten that yet in the competition. Apart from the last game, the Bitches versus Manchester United, I managed to get 14 points after putting my 2 times boost. So I got 7 points for the game, 1 point for the first team to score, 2 points for the first player to score, and then a 2 times boost puts it out to 14. Which is definitely by far the most amount of points I've gotten from one game across the Europa League, Conference League and the Champions League. Right, moving on to my predictions for the first leg of the quarterfinals, starting off with Feyenoord versus Roma. I think the first leg will be a close one, with just a 1-8 draw for this one. I think Roma will get through in this round, but I think it will come up being a draw, and then Roma will get the win in the second leg when they play at home. So I'm going to put the first team to score as Feyenoord, with the first player to score being Rust. So Leverkusen versus Union SG, I'm going to say Leverkusen will get a win here. I'll say they'll get a 3. No, I'm going to say it'll be a 3-0 win. Yeah, I'll go for that. Since they're playing at home, I'll go for that. If they're playing away, then I wouldn't go that much of a goal difference. But the first player to score, I'm going to go for... You know what? I'm going to go for Diaby again. I doubt he'll be the first to score back to back, but I'm going to go for it. Juventus versus Sporting, I'm going to say Juventus will get a win. Just a 2-1 win for this one. I'm going to say Sporting will actually score first, so Juventus will actually come back to get a win, with Edwards being the first player to score. The final game for the Europa League is Man United versus Sevilla. I'm going to say Man United will win this game. I'm going to say it'll be a 2-0 win for them playing at home. First player to score will of course be Man United. And the first player to score, I'll go for Rashford. Alright, there we go. That's my predictions for the Europa League. I'm going to put my 2 times boost on the Man United game. Don't really have a big reason for it. I just think that's the one I'm most likely going to get right. Then we're going to go over to the Conference League, I'll do the bracket, and then the predictions for each game as well. Alright, so the first game we've got Lech versus Fiorentina. I'm going to go for a Fiorentina one. Yeah, sure. I think they will get through to the semi-finals for this one. In the second quarter-final, we have Basel versus Nice. I can back Nice. I think Nice can beat them. Yeah, Nice can beat them. Ghent versus West Ham. No, I'll back the Hammers. I'll say West Ham will go through, beat Ghent, make it to the semi-finals, leaving the final quarter-final being Anderlecht versus Alkmaar. I'm going to go for Anderlecht to win that one. Over to the semi-finals, we've got Fiorentina versus Nice. I'm going to go for a Nice one. Yeah, I'll go for them. West Ham versus Anderlecht. I'm going to go... Will West Ham make the final? Part of me wants to say I can't see West Ham making the final. However, I think they can beat Anderlecht. I think. So I'm going to go for them. I have just looked at the Premier League. I've seen the position West Ham are in. After looking at that, I don't think West Ham are making it to the final. I'm going to change it. I'm going to say Anderlecht will make it through. I mean, they've clearly been performing in Europe still, even though they've not been having a good season. So the final is going to be Nice versus Anderlecht. I'm going to say the winner of the Europa Conference League will be Nice. Okay, so that is my early predictions for the Conference League bracket. We'll come back to this once we've got a champion. Obviously, how wrong I actually was, because I'm sure I will be. Alright, moving over into the predictor. Before I make the predictions for the next round, I'm going to go back to the round of 16, leg 2, and see how well I've done. So I managed to get 32 points in this round. Straight away I do see 2 zeros. Yeah, okay, so I got 2 zeros in this. In fact, I still got 30 points, is actually pretty good, I'd say. Actually, every other game I got 4 or 5 points. So I got 2 zeros, 3 4s, and technically 3 5s. With the third one being the West Ham and the Naka game, where I had my 2 test boost on, so that actually gave me 10 points instead of just 5. So in the Ghent game, Lech game, Fiorentina, Nice and West Ham, I'm actually getting a bonus point for the first team to score, but in no games did I manage to get the first player to score. Alright, moving on to the first game of the quarter final, we've got Ghent versus West Ham. Ghent are playing at home. I'm thinking this one, Ghent will score 1 goal, and West Ham will get... will they draw this or will they get a win? No, I'll say they'll draw the first leg and they'll win the second leg at home. So alright, the first team to score will be Ghent, and the first player to score will be Robin. Up next we've got Basel versus Nice. I'm going to go for Nice 1. I'll say they'll win just 1-0. Nah, 2-0. So the first team to score will be Nice, with the first player to score being Pepe. Anderlecht versus Alkmaar. I'm going to go for Anderlecht 1. I'll say it'll be a 2-1 win for this one, with the first team to score being Alkmaar, and the first player to score for Alkmaar will be De Jong. For the final game, we've got Lech versus Fiorentina. I think Fiorentina will win this. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Fiorentina being the first team to score, with the first player to score being Tosche. Right, there we go. That is all my predictions done. I'm going to put my 2 cents boost on the West Ham game, I guess. Sure. No, I'll put in the Fiorentina game. There we go. That is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree with any of my predictions. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for another video. See ya.